It's a story that's making national headlines. An Ohio family is upset that cemetery management had 2 SpongeBob SquarePants headstones removed after they got approval to have them put on their daughter's plot. Attorney Jay Davis is here to weigh in on this bizarre situation. Jay, kind of crazy story, huh?
It's pretty crazy.
Okay, so let's kind of fill everybody in who doesn't know. This family signed a contract. They approved, the cemetery approved. They had the 2 headstones installed, $26,000. Their daughter was an Army sergeant. She was murdered. And then the next day, after these headstones are installed, the cemetery says, no, they've got to go. So does this family have grounds to sue?
Of course they've got grounds to sue. Everybody's always got grounds to sue. The question is whether or not you can get anything out of it, or whether or not you have a remedy to fix whatever you want to fix. Now, I'm not sure exactly with what I've read about this. The contract, if the contract explicitly allows them to put these stones there.
Right.
If that is, and that's a modification of the contract where they probably purchased this property. What I imagine happened is they had a contract to purchase this site.
Right.
And then the cemetery had certain guidelines which incorporated being able to put up certain things and requiring it to be approved by someone higher up.
Interesting point that you just brought up there, because the issue is that they did have their contract approved. They did have these headstones approved.
Well, they had the headstones approved. They were guided,
yeah,
according to what I've seen, they were guided by one of the cemetery's employees to choose these headstones.
Right.
But I'm not sure that that's the same approval that was required by the contract on the purchase to have that site.
Okay, gotcha. So therefore the cemetery could be okay.
The cemetery, if their contract doesn't explicitly allow them to put these headstones up there, the SpongeBob SquarePants headstones, if that's not what that contract explicitly said, then the cemetery will have grounds to have a judgment call on whether or not they go in there.
Okay, wow. What do you think? Do you think that this family...
I think if it's not there, that because these are very, very large, you know, a lot of people would say that they may or may not want there. They might not fit in keeping with whatever the cemetery's theme is. Of course, a mile or so away, there's one up similar in another cemetery. Well, cemeteries have different themes and different groups who may be there, and people purchase a plot based on what they think that cemetery represents.
Okay.
So if they think it's not according to the standards of that cemetery, and they can show that in writing and their regular way to do it, then they may have a claim. But because their employee led them into making this agreement, making them $26,000 is a lot of money.
Right. And
they are probably on the hook to reimburse for this money to try to make this right, because their employee led them down this path to do that. So can you imagine having $26,000 invested in something and the next day it's gone?
No.
It's like buying your car and saying, oops.
It's an interesting story, and Jay is, remember, you can catch Jay and his legal experts every Saturday on My 41.2 at 3 and on Sunday right here on 41 NBC at 6. And don't forget, if you've got a legal question for Jay, you can email us at itsthelaw@41nbc.com. We'll answer it right here on the news at 6.